Morning everyone. My name is Arafat and I teach on the textbook plan. So let us continue our discussion on the previous year topic Vedic. So in yesterday's class, I have discussed. Let us continue with the. So this topic is very important. Many times have been coming from this topic at least every alternate year. So let us. Yesterday, in fact, we have discussed some 5-6 from. Let us discuss other remaining civilization. Take a look at this question. This question was asked some 20 years ago. Important topic. Take a look at this question. From where was the word Satyameva Jayate? Question. Can anyone answer this question? From where was the word Satyameva? 4 options have been given. One is Manusmriti, second is Bhagavad Gita, third is Rigveda, fourth is have Mundakopanishad. Mundakopanishad. Upanishad. Anyone? What's the answer for this question? Four options have been given here. Manusmriti, Bhagavad Gita, Rigveda, and Mundakopanishad. So before we answer this question, let us discuss a few details relating to Upanishad. Let us discuss a few aspects or a few details. So the Upanishads are otherwise referred to as Vedanta. Other name for the Upanishad. So what does Vedanta contain? Of the entire Vedic literature, Upanishads are considered to be most rational. Basically, all the Upanishads, of all the Vedic texts, Upanishads are considered most rational set of. What does the Upanishads are basically? They contain elaborate discussion on various speculative matters. That is, I am trying to give as the topic which we are discussing, question we are discussing with Upanishads. So basically, Upanishads I just told you, other name for Upanishad. So the Upanishads are considered to be most rational set of texts. They are considered to be most rational set. So the Upanishads contain elaborate discussion on various speculative matters. One, it contains elaborate discussion on speculative matters, as say Atma, Paramatma, Moksha, Karma, soul is another words, Atma. So the whole point which the Upanishads contain a lot of information on various speculative matters such as Atma, of Atma, the nature of Paramatma, interconnect Atma. It also contains a lot of elaborate. Then it contains on karma in simple terms. Karma means action, outcome. So these are what we call as a speculative matter. So the Upanishads a lot of on speculative. matters. Second, the Upanishads also contain an elaborate concept on the point is bhakti to an unconditional self-surrender called as bhakti, having devotion towards God without having any expectations of God, called as. So the Upanishads also lay a lot of as a means to, or Upanishads lay a lot of emphasis on bhakti as a method of worship. So the Upanishads contain a lot of emphasis. Also, we can third Upanishads contain lot of Upanishads contain the Upanishads contain the Upanishads also contain moral say moral contain moral. Some of the moral sayings are say satyameva. Fact, moral sayings satyameva. But Upanishads is again not one single. Upanishads are divided into a total of 10. One of the chapters of the Upanishad, Mundakopanishad, it is in the Mundakopanishad that we get to see numerous moral sayings. One very famous moral saying, Satyam times. The whole point which I am trying to convey, from where was the word Satyam question that was asked? The answer for this question is D. I explained it to you. First, what exactly are mentioned. I explained to you what actually are mentioned. So the third point is Upanishads also contain moral sayings, but they are actually mentioned in one of the by name the Upanishad, the one of the 108 Upanishads. The answer for this question, option question, the answer for Upanishad asked in fact 2. Come to the look at this was asked way back in 30 years ago. Asked. Take a look at this question. In the context of ancient, which one of the following terms does not belong category of the other three? In the context of ancient Indian society, one of the following terms does not belong to category was the question. So four terms, three terms are related to each, but one term an odd one. Point. What that question that was asked in any answer? Any answer for this? Context of the Indian society. Which one of the following terms does not category of? So let us take a look at meanings of four terms here to have a basic understanding. So the first is kula. Kula basically refers to family. Kula basically refers to family. Back in those days during the Vedic times, some kula was family. The head of the kula was referred to as kulapati. Kulapati or grahapati or kulapa. Head of the family during the Vedic times was referred to as kulapati, kulapa or graha. Vansha basically Vansha basically Vansha. So this term is also related to family. So basically, Vamsha, Kosha, on the other hand, sorry, Kosha, this is a very common term. Is a term which we uh, frequently come across when we read standard text on ancient. Kosha, basically treasury. Treasury. Gotra, basically group of families who trace common ancestor known as Gotra. Gotra is a group of families tracing common ancestor called as Gotra. So basically, term Ta, that is A, B, and C, they are common terms. They are related to each other. But the odd man out in the question, Kusha, that is. So basically, Kula, Vamsha, and Gotra, the three terms are related to each other, but not. So the answer for this question, take a look at this question in the context of ancient society. Which one of the following terms does not belong to the category of the other three? The answer for this question was asked way back in 19. So basically, these terms we discuss mostly when we discuss the Vedic civilization. So during the Vedic civilization, that is when we discuss about the Vedic civilization, invariably discussions of all these Vamsha, Gotra, have a clear-cut understanding and answering this question not become not, it should not be any difficult in answering. The answer for this question option. Take a look at the eighth question. This is also a very important topic. Basically, this is taken from the religion of the Vedic. Take a look at the eighth question. The dharma and Gita depicts the central idea of ancient Vedic civilization. The dharma and Gita depict the idea of ancient. Next, consider the following. Context, consider the following. Statement A. Dharma was the conception of obligations and the discharge of one's duty to others. To others. So basically, what is dharma? So the question is about. Question is basically asking us to identify which of the two above statements as the correct statement. So basically, uh, identify which of the two above statements. Basically, we need to identify the correct of both of these. Take a look at the first statement. Dharma. Basically, the question is on the topics dharma and rita. So, statement 1 describes dharma and statement 2 describes rita. Take a look at statement 1. Dharma was a conception of obligations and the discharge of one's duty self to others. Dharma was a conception of obligations, discharge of one's duty to others. It is a correct statement. The point is, in later Vedic time period, during the later Vedic time period, the ashrama system came into existence. Ashrama came in. So, alongside the ashramas, four purusharthas also began to be advocated by the ancient purusharthas. I repeat, in the later Vedic time period, ancient thinkers began to advocate the practice of purusharthas. Practice of purusharthas. Purusharthas are four in number. One is dharma, second is artha, third is kama, fourth is So basically, the Purusharthas are four goals that needs to be achieved by the individuals. Basically, the ancient thinkers began to advocate four goals to be achieved by the individuals. The four goals being dharma, artha, kama. Dharma is basically duties. Dharma basically uh, described the duties that needs to be performed by each member of the society, of course, depending on one's own varna. The point is, during the ancient times, four goals began to be prescribed for each individual to achieve. The four goals being dharma, artha, kama, moksha. All put together, all four put together, described as a purusha. Then what is dharma? Dharma, in terms, referred to is which each individual in the society was followed. The duties that were expected to be performed by the individuals in the society were based on one's own varna. So all all the individuals in the society were not expected to follow the same, were not expected to discharge the same function. Each member of the society, particularly depending on were assigned a few. So basically, these were the functions which they were required to be performing to discharge. Basically, in simple terms, dharma dealt with the obligations. Dharma dealt with the discharge of one's own duty, one's duty to oneself, and also to the other. So, in that context, the dharma, basically, dharma deals with this that was emphasized in this. Take a look at the second statement. Rita, that is during the early Vedic period, Lord Varuna was described as upholder of Rita. Repeat, during the early Vedic period, Lord Varuna was described as upholder, meaning Lord Varuna was described as the one who oversees functioning is. Let me repeat this. During the later Vedic period, the early Vedic period, natural forces were worshipped. One such natural force that was worshipped was a Lord Varuna. So Lord Varuna was basically described as upholder of Rita. Rita terms the one who oversaw functioning of moral order. Varuna was was uh, was conceived as one who upholds the moral order. Varuna was also conceived as the one who oversaw uh, the cosmic is. Varuna was conceived as the one, that is, he was conceived as the one who would uh, was described as the one who would uh, Varuna was described as the one who uh, would come when the moral law, that is one immorality society. Varuna was described as the one who would come and uphold the moral values. So it was in that context the term Rita was at a point. So basically, the term dharma refers to duties. The term Rita was basically the moral law governing us. All it. This question was asked way back in. Take a look at the option. So this question, both option A and option both are correct statements. The answer for both. The answer for this question, both one and. Take a look at this question. Which Which one among the following not a characteristic of Vedic Aryans? Which one among not a characteristic of Aryans? Four options are given here. 1. A. They were acquainted with horses, chariots of bronze. They were acquainted with horses, chariots. 2. Basically, horse is considered as a marker of Aryan culture. Definitely, the Aryans were definitely of horse, were definitely horse. We also know very clearly that the Aryans, the chariots drawn by, they also were aware of bronze is an ally. In. So option A, correct statement. But the question is asking us to identify not a characteristic of a Vedic Aryan. Not means that three of them are correct. One is not a character. So option A, correct one, not an answer. B, take a look at the option. They were acquainted with the use. The point is, iron came into India around, that is, roughly iron came into India during the later Vedic. So, what is the time period of later Vedic period? It is between 1000. So, it was between 1000 and 6 of iron in India. But Rig Vedic period, on the other hand, is during the Rig Vedic period, the Aryans were not definitely, or they were not aware of all. But option B says were acquainted with the iron. The answer for this question, but take a look at option. They were acquainted with how formed most important. The point is the Rigvedic Aryans were definitely aware of a cow. Cow was a important form of wealth during early period. So during the early Vedic period, land was not considered as a form of wealth, but rather cow, particularly cow, was regarded as important. So option C, correct. Take a look at option D. They were acquainted with proper modern plowshare. Definitely, they were aware of they were also aware of plowshare, but the plowshare was not made of iron, it was just wood. They were aware of wooden plowshare. The Rigvedic Aryans were aware of plow, they were also plowshare, but they did not make the plow and plowshare with iron, they made it with wooden plow. They used wooden plow. I hope I am clear. So this also is a right. So the wrong statement, the point is, question is asking us by a characteristic following which is not a characteristic of Vedic. So the statement which is not a characteristic of Aryans. So basically, Aryans are, that is particularly the Vedic Aryans, aware of iron at all. The answer for, take a look at last question. So this question was asked from in the last UPSC exams. Take a look at this question. Banks of which battle of 10 kings fought in the. So in Rigveda, get to hear about horse of, that is Rigveda mentions horse, but one such war, one very important finds Rigveda is war known as Battle of the Veda contains wars, but one war which finds which is repeated many times, the war called Battle of all the wars fought during the Vedic period. The most important war happened, war called Battle of. So it was fought between Bharata tribe on the one side and a confederation comprising of 10 tribes on. Let me repeat, Battle of the Dasrajna to be important wars fought during the Vedic period. So this war is said to have been fought between Bharata tribe on one side and a confederation comprising of 10 tribes on confederation, right? Among these 10 tribal kingdoms, most important happened to Kuru. Of these 10, most important happened to. So the Bharata tribe was led by one Mr. Sudasa, and the Puru tribe confederation of the 10 kingdoms was led by king of Puru by name. So the Puru ruler was Kutta. He was leading. So in this battle is said to have been fought on the banks of Parushni. Parushni, which has been identified with Parushni. The whole point is Rigveda we the of a war called the Battle of Tribes, the Bharata side, 10 tribes on the side. The Bharata tribe was led by Sudasa, as the confederation comprising of 10 kingdoms was led by who happened to be ruler of Kuru kingdom, Kuru tribe. So this battle is have been fought on the banks of the Parushni. Is been identified with modern day. So in this war, the Bharata tribe is said to have defeated the confederation. Or the Bharata tribe in defeated confederation and is said to have a. Therefore, the answer for the question Parushni. The bank of which battle of 10 kings fought in the answer for Parushni. That's all for today. Tomorrow we shall meet again and take up this. In case you have any doubts, you is that's all for today. See you in the next.